So this is another book chat episode. This time we'll be talking about the novel Hench by Natalie Zina Walschots. It's it was a 2021 Canada Reads CBC selection. So that's a simple competition where they have they televise 5 books and they have celebrities or well-known people defend them, and in the end one wins. This one did not win, but this was the most compelling one for me to read because I've been into superhero movies and stuff. So basically the premise of the book is it follows superheroes or actually a hench person, a woman. I'm pretty sure in the book she identifies as a woman. There's like a tinge of LGBTQ plus feel in it. So I don't know. I hope I'm not misgendering or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they refer to her as she in here. And basically it's a hench person. She works for a villain and something goes wrong and she has a vendetta against superheroes. So the whole book follows kind of from the hench person's perspective. And I mean, I think that's pretty good premise. Overall, I thought it was pretty good as a superhero movie or a book, sorry. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It was a quick read. It was fast paced.
Yeah, it was. I really liked it.
And yeah.
Like I'm not sure if you've seen, there's been like a big blow up, I guess, or explosion of alternate superhero stories. I've noticed like The Boys, I think, was the one that kind of kicked it off. If you've seen
Yeah.
that on Amazon Prime, it has a very like The Boys feel. And then also that Invincible TV show that just came out on Amazon Prime as well. It's got that feel for me where like the heroes are heroes, but they are people as well. And obviously, people plus power is usually a bad thing a lot of the time. And so you get bad people when you have superheroes. Yeah, it was like, I told you this when we were like texting about it, but I read this book in 3 sittings. It's like I think a 400-page book almost on the dot. I think it was 399 pages. Yeah, 399 pages. So like I sat down and read like 150 pages basically every time I sat down to read it because it was super like it was the opposite of the last book we read, The Water Knife, where instead of like this slow build up to get you understanding the world and then like, you know, a powder keg, it goes off and everything happens. This was very much like a bunch of smaller powder kegs going off one after the other, leading up to the big thing, which is obviously a lot easier to read because you have that next little hit of dopamine or whatever as the next cool event happens. But I really liked it.
I like the pace because like the like the writer, the choice of words and everything, it's not really introducing new ideas or events or settings. It's very simple. Like she might say in the alleyway, so you can imagine whatever you want to be an alleyway. That's not an exact quote, but that's kind of the vibe I got. I didn't have to think about what I was reading. The images were pretty clear in my head, and whether it was accurate or not, it painted a good story in my head from sequence to sequence. And I think she drew on superhero lore for the settings and everything. And whenever you describe an action scene, like when someone just jumps in out of nowhere, you don't really have to describe it that much because I mean we've all seen it in movies. Someone just flies in from somewhere and they have a superhero landing. So
yeah, that's actually one thing I will say is Natalie here, like she did a fantastic job of describing those events. Like you said, like you don't need to go through a lot of detail to do it. So it can be quick, but the words you choose when you're describing it, like the wall collapsed versus the wall detonated, like that has a very different feel to it. And like the words she chose to describe those things were perfect. Like all the punch, like it almost felt very body horror-esque. Like the ending, which we're not doing spoilers yet, but the ending has some very body horror stuff. And even the beginning, the events that kind of lead up to her going on her journey, like even that has some weird body horror aspects to it where like I was uncomfortable reading it. But despite that, she wasn't being overly verbose. It wasn't like Tolkien where you're like reading the description of a tower and it's a page and a half,
Mm.
which has its place. But here it was like the description is a couple sentences, but the word choice is so good that you're like, holy, that was unnerving, or that was uncomfortable in a way that it is good. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. So yeah, like I really like that as well about it. Um,
It had good snappy dialogue, especially between Anna and her friend, her best friend June, which you usually see, especially in the Marvel movies. They're generally rated for the entire family, but they have a lot of like quick back and forths, especially if you think of Tony Stark as Iron
yeah,
Man. He's known for those snarky comments.
the witty
This
banter between like Captain America, like the good by the book guy, and then Tony Stark is the, I want to do good, however it needs to be done kind of thing. Yeah, it very much has that vibe to it as well. It's a very
Mhm.
like superhero ebook. Like she plays on all those tropes,
Yeah.
like the main uh superhero, which is a weird thing because they're also the antagonist of the book. He's basically Superman. Um,
Mm.
like he is a trope, and intentionally so. I'm not sure if you want to like get into some of that stuff. We'll probably wait a little bit because it does have some
Yeah.
spoilers, but he's intentionally a trope and she plays on that really, really, really well. She has this great understanding of the superhero genre. But
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I think we can just get into it. I mean, overall, it's for me, it's definitely a reread. It's a fun reread,
yes,
maybe in the summer, or if it's like a rainy day, or you're stuck in the house, or if you need some excitement, it's definitely a pick me up kind of book, literally
yes,
and in terms of feelings. So yeah, I think overall I loved it.
I did too. It's a super fun, like easy, I guess, read, but not like the popcorn candy kind of like brain dead fiction. Like it's easy while still being complex and having a lot going on, and it's super super cool.